It's, you see, it's technical, but the most important thing is how the wife deals with the husband. Then it trickles down to the family. Every man has a boy in him or something like that. It's not necessarily bad.
Hey guys, as promised, this is part 2, a continuation of our previous video. This one is going to be a little even more serious than the previous video, but I feel like it's a conversation that we all have to have as couples. Like, as long as you have a husband, if you have a male partner, it's a conversation that we need to have. Yeah, we're going to be talking about men's mental health and how it plays in drifting apart, and how we can help and support our partners as well. Yeah, so welcome to the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, turn on notifications, and engage with us in the comments. There's something we put a pin in that I want us to pick up now.
Yeah.
So we're having a conversation with one of our marriage cells about a month ago, and my husband was just sharing on mental health for men and how he has become more aware of it in the last year, like where you find that men are not necessarily quiet because they don't want to say, but sometimes they don't know how to say. Sometimes they don't even know that they are not okay, but like just something is off, but they don't know what. And for fear of looking weak before your wife, you keep quiet. Would you want to talk more on that, babe?
I don't know if we have time.
It's a time when you call your husband to listen.
I believe the most important thing for the man in the home is his mental health, because as much as he's the provider,
the leader, the head,
and everything. He wants to be. There's that inner feeling of a man to belong all the time, and unfortunately, I'm just trying to. I hope I'm saying what you want me to say, but
no, say what you want to say.
Unfortunately, our culture has made men that.
Like you have to cover up, always be strong, a man can't cry.
That tool, he's that part of the family that must always be okay, and we don't care about him or it in quotes until, unfortunately, his funeral.
God forbid.
The funeral service. That's when it dawns on the family that. He was such a caring guy. He was such a loving father. He always dropped me at school and told me, work hard, or, don't forget to give teacher this. He always made sure our fees were paid 2 years before. And, we kind of remember the men at that point. Now, I'm not saying that we need to be like kings. I mean, Igwe and what. But there's that inner feeling of a man to belong. I'm looking at, say, our generation when we were growing up. Most of the things we used to tell mom. Okay, different people have different relationships with their families, but most people used to say, "Mom, you know what? I have a girlfriend," or "Mom, you know what? I have this thing at school. I have a trip. This. Can you, And yet, if there had been a certain way, Mom had involved Dad in the home. Of course, men have their weaknesses and women also have their weaknesses. So you can't, every challenge has its own, circumstance. But if maybe the dad had been involved in certain things, like, hey, we have a wedding for Nancy next month. It's on Saturday, the 22nd of this month. But then we tell Dad,
The day before.
The day before, hey, Nancy,
Babe, we need you to drop us.
Hey, drop us. Or daddy, tomorrow there's a wedding. You come.
Yeah.
And because, he's caring, he's loving, he's available, he's like, okay, I'll drop you. Let's go. What time is it? Then, on the day of the wedding, he's the one, rallying everybody. Time. But have you got to understand how he's doing?
So esteeming the husband's position in a family, but also caring for his feelings and how he's doing.
I think maybe the word would be honor, but it's technical. But the most important thing is how the wife deals with the husband. Then it trickles down to the family. Because if you come to me, or if you send the kids to me when they need to fix a toy, when they need to fix buy uniform, or when they need that kind of thing, then the kid grows up knowing, if I have a personal thing I need to talk to mom, if I have financial
money,
stuff, I will talk to mom, who will talk to dad. And so the man grows up with that mindset of, I'm a provider. When people need money, I'll be there. But if someone wants to just talk to me, maybe I'm not the person. Or if someone wants just to, get my mind on something, or just talk to me, like, let's just chat. So you find that because of that mindset, even the man, okay, this is my theory. You find that even when the wife has been like sick, like in her late 40s and the husband has been totally healthy, maybe because he's still working, then when he retires, somehow within 10 years
or less, he falls sick, prostate, what,
and then we are in funerals and everything, because his mindset is, what do I need to do to help my mind? Because he was used to wake up early, go to work, because at work he's complimented. Say, boss, here your newspapers. Oh, boss, this is some breakfast, tea, or something. All there are these workmates who are always talking to him. But when he goes back home, hey, daddy, you have,
everyone leaves him there in daddy's chair.
Or when he comes back, it's like, TV, news, sleep, dinner. So there's no that opportunity to talk. And then on the funeral, that's when people remember, oh, he was this, he was that, he was the other. And I think now more than ever, it's very important for us, especially in the marriage setting, to understand the importance of mental health, especially for the man.
I feel like for us, we've been brought up to be more in touch with our feelings and our emotions. Like, if I am sad, you're going to see me crying. But if a man is sad or hurt by something, rarely will you see him crying. Even at funerals, like, if you see, I'm sorry we're mentioning funerals so much, but like at funerals, you'll see the man is the one that is maybe hiding the tears or just has sniffles, but for us, we're not afraid to cry and for people to see us crying. So I feel like even while we raise our children, we need to make them aware of the fact that both dad and mom have emotions. Like, it's okay for us to express those emotions, and also for us, the wives, to like, don't be afraid if you see your husband break down. Like, embrace that. And we need to, create communities for the men to just vent, be together as men, and not be afraid to be vulnerable. I don't know.
And also to that, to your wife. And I think, like you being talking about drifting, it's difficult for me to tell you I'm drifting naturally as a man, and you would have to talk to me and say,
really,
what's wrong, what's up, Is there money that you're waiting for? Because usually those are the men's issues are not, in quotes, many. Because
but there are little things that break their ego, right?
If he's broke, if his soccer team loses, if maybe there's debt, and maybe but usually it's maybe financial, health, maybe, or a family thing which affects him, or spiritual. But usually they are not. There's things which, if the wife is very present and talking to him intentionally about some of those things, then it makes it easier for him to know that, okay, there's this person, she's in my house, and it's easy for me to talk to her. And I think it's a very important thing for the women, whether before you get married or even now that you're married, it's important to try to reach the mind of your husband.
I remember, sorry to cut you short, babe. There's the time you were sharing this, you said, allow us to be boys. to mean that, say our son is a Liam, he's 3, and if he's not okay, we're going to probe and keep asking different ways. And you were saying, like, allow for that, because it's hard for us to be in touch with our emotions. It's hard for us to voice them. So sometimes we just need you, like, we need to see that like, this person is really interested in knowing how I am, and then maybe it will encourage you to open up.
Yeah, I feel like that's another topic for another day, and this thing of mental health needs like another whole video of its own. But this is a disclaimer, it's really a personal opinion, but maybe it's just an analogy to kind of explain the way our brains work, maybe
as men.
Yeah. And unfortunately you guys don't get it, but it's very important for I think that's why they say every man has a boy in him or something like that. It's not necessarily bad, I don't think so, but knowing that would help you better understand your man. Meaning, if he comes home, leaves his shoes at the doorstep, leaves his socks in the chair, goes to the bedroom and leaves his vest on the bed, and then maybe his pants on the floor, maybe you might want to know why. Maybe he has like, if it's out of his element, this is not something that he does ordinarily. Yeah, because sometimes it's just bad manners. But but you find that maybe he has spent like all day dealing with this client or this meeting or this thing, and it just didn't work. And he just wants to be quiet in the bedroom and sleep. Or someone shouted at him. Or maybe even when you ask him, he says nothing is wrong, but you know something is wrong. So maybe what I said that time of allowing the men to be boys is that you treat them not necessarily like boys, but like approach it from that angle, especially when something doesn't seem right. This is really my opinion, because it might be difficult for me to tell you all the details, but maybe you can assume in a way, like you can try to keep probing, because you have like 7 senses as women, so you can easily tell that maybe there's something like maybe he needs a loan, or maybe money got lost or something like that. And there's so many things that we go through as men, and most of the time they are never talked about. And most of the things that cause men, especially as they age, to die faster, in quotes, is the mind. Yeah. So I think what you're saying, babe, is for us to really recognize where our partners are at, where the men in our lives are at,
If we can probe, then we do. And I think when you say sometimes let men be boys, it's because when we think of men, we think of you as strong, in control, in charge. But when you're dealing with a boy, sometimes you try to even think for him. You try to ration his feelings out for him.
Yes.
And so you end up probing.
Yes.
Yeah. So this was just our chat on that.
Yeah.
Let us know. Let us know your thoughts on it. It's a very serious topic. I know we barely touched the surface.
Yeah.
But I feel like
it really needs like another session,
complete video,
and probably with other men.
Yeah.
To kind of touch the issue of mental health.
Yeah.
But somehow, while talking about the drifting, it came up.
Yeah, because it plays a part.
Yeah.
So we'll end it here. Let us know what your thoughts are. Share this video with the men that are in your lives, and let this conversation start, especially between couples.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, like, subscribe, share the video, turn on your notifications, and that's it from us.
See you.
Bye.